It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 22nd, the morning edition. I'm James Spann. Very active weather for the rest of this week with two potential severe weather issues. Let's discuss. We'll go to some of the Skycam shots early this morning. Ooh, a little foggy in Tuscaloosa from the top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. There's the Gadsden Skycam, some light fog over the city there, and no fog up in northwest Alabama and Haleyville, where they're still in pretty dry air. All right, there's the deal. We've got a very fast-moving flow pattern over the continental United States, and that upper low is just sitting there over Baja. And, I talked about that thing being, kind of a factor in all of this as the week progresses. Will that become involved in the northern branch and everything phase up? Well, some of the latest model guidance showing no phasing, and that would somewhat lessen the severe weather threat tomorrow night, but still, severe storms are certainly possible. And again, that thing is not in the upper air network of the United States yet, which always makes it somewhat challenging for the models to handle properly. All right, batch number one already. Look at that. We've got storms in progress this morning up in western Tennessee around Memphis. Now, those storms are elevated. There is no surface-based instability up there, but as the day wears on, we think the storms will become surface-based as dew points are now in the middle 50s as far north as Birmingham. Quick peek at temperatures. Not too cold around the nation this morning. No really cold air around, and we'll cool down some Friday and Saturday, but, nothing seriously cold. And really the biggest issues around here, it's the fog down south, the dense fog advisory for the Mobile counties and the county warning area. And up in the northwest, high wind warnings in effect for a lot of folks up there with some snow issues as well. Okay, this is the day one convective outlook. This is later today and early tonight. The standard slight risk of severe weather across Alabama north of a line from about Vernon to Birmingham to Roanoke into the adjacent states. Main risk would be from hail and strong straight line winds, although an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. And then tomorrow, this is mainly for tomorrow night into early Friday, almost all of Alabama is in the standard slight risk of severe weather, including the adjacent states. Here's the good news. The probabilities have come down. We had the enhancement those guys defined yesterday over this part of Alabama. Well, they've taken that out, and we've got the standard 15% probabilities. That's what you expect in a slight risk. And again, we'll go through and look at this in detail in just a moment. And then on day three, which is Friday, there is a risk east of here over parts of Georgia and the coastal plain of the Carolinas. This is the expected rain for the next 5 days, valid through the weekend, through Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and this is suggesting rain amounts of 1 to 2 inches here with our two convective events. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's look at modeling. This is at noon today off the OZGFS at 500 millibars. There's your upper load that's off the coast of Baja California. And again, that fast flow with these series of waves. There's the surface look today at noon. We'll go down and look at the RPM. This is valid at 6 o'clock this evening. And you can see scattered convection over about the northern third of Alabama. All right. And we'll get in there and take a look at some of the severe weather parameters. And goodness, look at this now. This is pretty interesting. This is the instability expected this evening at 6 o'clock local time. And wow, the surface-based capes are over 1,000 joules. So as temperatures warm into the low 70s, this is suggesting there could be a pretty decent amount of surface-based instability for February. And look at the energy helicity index this evening at 6 o'clock. This is the 3-kilometer EHI, and that's a pretty big number there. That's a 3.48, and that is certainly supportive of sustained updrafts and organized convection and some severe weather. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. And this is the significant tornado parameter for this evening at 6 o'clock. And the numbers do exceed 1 over parts of Alabama and the adjacent states. There will be some shear involved, not a tremendous amount, but it sure looks like a day where we'll be watching the radar carefully. I'd say the main window for any severe storms from about 3 o'clock until 8 o'clock this afternoon and this evening. And again, the main threat would be from hail and strong straight-line winds. An isolated tornado not totally out of the question. Okay, this is tomorrow at midday, and again, the upper low is just not moving. It just doesn't want to phase up with the branch to the north of there. And again, hopefully that will lessen the chance of any severe weather. We'll go down to the RPM. This is at noon tomorrow, and there's nothing. And again, I think tomorrow is going to be just a beautiful day. During the day, I mean, a pretty decent amount of sunshine, breezy, warm with mid-70s. Both the NAM and the GFS are at 75, so no issues during the day. And then we'll go to tomorrow night at midnight, and the RPM shows really just some scattered type convection around here. And if we do see any severe weather, that would be that window late tomorrow night. And then at noon on Friday, all of that is well to the south. So again, the main window for severe weather with this thing tomorrow night would probably be maybe 9 o'clock through tomorrow night through 6 a.m. Friday morning. And we'll peak at the STP. And again, the deal, I like to take these one at a time. We need to get tonight's event out of here before we can really focus on tomorrow night. But quickly, this is the STP for 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And the numbers have come down, which is great. This thing was flashing these higher numbers, but with the lack of phasing involved, now the STP is running 1 to 3 over North Alabama. It's still that's significant, but nothing like the numbers we saw a couple of days ago. So we'll mention a chance of severe weather again tomorrow night into early Friday, and we'll have a much better idea of this event tomorrow morning. We're going to focus on this thing tonight. And again, Friday, the sky should clear late in the day. And what about the weekend? This is Saturday. Valid at noon, sunny day. Kind of a cool day. The GFS is showing 57. Highs in the mid to upper 50s, but it should be hard to find a decent cloud in the sky. The sky will be sunny, just a nice day. Sunday, we got that very deep low north of Omaha, Nebraska, and the Gulf begins to open up in evidence of maybe a shower down around Dothan. I guess you might consider a slight chance of a shower late Sunday, but for now we don't see enough evidence to include that. We'll leave it dry with highs around 60 on Sunday. We'll call it partly sunny. Now, early next week, the models have been all over the board, and again, the confidence is not all that high. This is suggesting showers Monday, showers Tuesday. Here's Wednesday, a week from today, a short wave approaching, and more wet weather. If this is right, the first half of next week could be really wet, so we'll just watch that, and for now, we'll probably mention a chance of showers all 3 days and fine-tune that as we need to. The end of the forecast on March 8th, cold air, forget it. Not happening with that look. Got troughing over the west, ridging over the central Gulf Coast. That would be mild, if not warm, and maybe kind of showery out there. All right, that's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you live around here, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
The first thing you've got to understand, you cannot rely on an outdoor siren. You cannot hear those inside a home, a building, a church. It won't work. You've got to get something inside your house. That's a weather radio or maybe a smartphone app. We work with a company that's developed a wonderful weather radio app for Android phones and iPhones. It knows where you are, and if you're in a tornado warning polygon, you get the warning. And if you're not, you don't. It's an effective device, and it's a great way to be sure you get the warning.